Welcome back to Vanzi Park. I'm out here to do a little bit of testing here. Uh, as I've previously mentioned, last week I lost my harp, and it's been a pretty important part of my bag, having that little overstable upshot disc. Really love that for the approaches. Something that I don't mind uh, throwing into things if I had to. Uh, you know, I'm not worried about beating it up like I am worried about the putting putters, but yeah, it's gone. Now, at least I haven't heard anything back for it yet. So, in a recent video, out at NAD Park, I unveiled this guy, the Discraft Zone Ringer Test Flight disc. This was from their Test Flight Battle Pack, or I don't remember what they called it. But it was a year ago or something like that. They had the ringer and the groove top zone. So it's the bottom end of a zone and the flight profile of a zone, but then the top of a this was a ringer and the other was a groove top. I still have the ringer. Didn't hate it. I actually kind of like this one, but wasn't a huge fan of the groove top. It just didn't fit right in my hand. So I still have this. This is one possibility as a replacement. I stopped by a local store and put a bunch of discs in my hand. I thought about getting another harp. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've loved the harp, so I felt like getting another one would be a great choice. But at the same time, I was like, this is a perfect opportunity to try some new discs. So, one that I really liked the feel of, holding in my hand, was an Entropy. So this is a 4.3 negative 0.53, so pretty close to the same flight numbers. The harp and the zone are both 4.303. So very similar flight numbers. I really like the feel of it in this Electron soft plastic. So it's got a little bit of give in the top plate. Of course, the edge is very hard. It's got a little bit of grip to it, which I like also. And then the other one I picked up is the new Scott Stokely line. I definitely wasn't shopping for this Scott Stokely disc, but this owl, it's called Mesoplastic. Really like how this feels. The plastic itself is a little bit slicker than I prefer for the upshot disc, but it's got I don't know if you can see it, but the top is very soft. It's very, very malleable. And then it's, again, got a hard rim on it. So I just, the way it grips in my hand, even though the plastic itself is a little slicker, just that soft feel in the hand, I really like it. So, and then, of course, the zone itself is actually a very firm plastic all around. So I actually have 3 very different feeling discs that all should have very similar flight characteristics. So kind of excited to see how this goes. We're going to just basically do a mid or approach only round. I'm actually going to play all 3 discs and just see how it plays. So hole 1, 220, I want to say, straight up the hill. We are going to play this as the tee order. So this that wins gets first on the tee. I am going to start off with the zone on the tee because it is the one that I already had. But this first one is up the hill, a little bit on the right, kind of just straight through that big tree right in the middle. I don't think there's any way I'm getting to it, and honestly, these are all overstable. I'm just trying to put it up on the hill somewhere. Now that is somewhere up on the hill. All right, next I'm going to go for the Entropy. That was definitely a better direction. I also got a little farther. And now the owl. I feel like I put that one on a little hyzer, but I really like the release on it. So trying to set up a camera on this hill is rough. I normally anchor and stuff with my bag. I don't have my bag with me, so got to do a short shot. Put the camera down low. Oh, that was terrible. Ooh, did I go the wall on that? A little bit. It curled up. Shouldn't be too bad. This should be pretty close to right on top of the entropy. All right, that's tap in for bogey for the zone. So it looks like these entropy actually trickled down the hill further than I thought it had. And of course, I'm trying to putt with a overstable putt and approach. On the plus side, at least for the entropy, is it's got a very similar feel to my atom. Not quite as deep, but it's similar feel. Nice shot. All right, and these should be just tap ins. All right, so in theory, hole 2 should shape up really well for these discs. Just straight down, I should be able to release them relatively flat and just get down. It'll fade to their left, put me up on the left side. Again, I don't think I'm getting there with these discs. So getting up on that left side actually might not be a bad place to be. So, entropy and the owl both got a par on that one. Zone got a bogey, so that puts the zone to the bottom of the tee order. Yeah, that is exactly what I expected it to do, and it barely curved before that tree. But probably a pretty good position. And now the owl. Pretty similar. I think I put that a little lower. And now the zone. Oh, way inside on that one, but it got up there a ways. Should be fine. So yeah, I'd say that qualifies as those were all pretty dang similar flights. This one is a little more awkward being so far left. But that should be good unless it rolled. Ooh, this is a bit of a tunnel. Maybe this is less awkward or more awkward. Ooh, left myself a little bit, but not too bad. That one looks great. Not like this is actually even all that far, but the one I thought looked best is actually the furthest away. Round of pars. I mean, really trying to make a comparison here, that was the worst kind of hole. I liked them all. That's terrible. Anyways, hole 3, 160, 155, something like that, uphill. Definitely with an overstable disc. I'm going to take the try to go for the right side gap and curve it in. In theory, these all should be a decent disc for this shot. So we're keeping the same tee order in this one. So we're going the entropy, the owl, and the zone. Now let's see if I can actually hit that line 3 times. Oh, that one got smacked down by that holly bush. It was a nice line, though. That was way wider and probably pretty close to the same spot. I think it may have skipped a little further, though. Oh, that one didn't hit the line. 2 out of 3 ain't too bad. All right, so I really didn't have a way to put the camera behind me. to see this shot, but this electron, I keep saying electron because it's electron plastic. The entropy really did get smacked down by this holly bush. It was basically at the base of the plant, which means that I'm in a pokey situation. That should be fine. Do I run this? Oh, that's a dangerous run. Soft bit it? Oh, that was close. And it did stay close. That was a good thing. So I released the zone on the worst line and ended up the closest because it didn't hit anything. But this is still a bit long. I'm going to try to do a soft bid like I did with the owl, just in case. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to go in. No solid conclusions yet. Hole 4, about 160 feet. Right over there. Not that you can see anything, but it's right over there. The other day I actually hooked just to the right of that blue barrel up there and said that with a more overstable disc, it might have been really good. Well, guess what I have in my hand? A little more overstable disc. So it's a skinny gap. Now that I'm staring at it, I'm going to try it, but it's a skinny gap. Well, I didn't hit that gap. Also, that didn't go very far. Oh, God. Right into a tree. Oh, there's no way I'm filming that. That's deep in some bushes. I'm going to have to figure out something. Well, this is awful. This basically ended up in some blackberries. Blackberries. Ended up in some blackberries on top of a slash pile. I do have kind of a window here. I don't know if I can get any power on this, though, with such an awkward stance. Basically just have leaving all my weight on my back foot. Well, it was forward progress. It wasn't good forward progress. So here's the owl. I'm still not 100% certain where the entropy... Oh, there it is. The entropy's up over there. And that's almost under the basket. All right. So still can't really film the zone. So I'm actually standing right next to the camera. Oh. Okay, that should be a not too difficult putt. Okay, I actually have a little bit, like right at the edge of circle putt for the entropy. Oh, that was not high enough. I mean, not a bad putt, but not high enough. That was not the most beautiful putt, but it's in. Hole 550-ish feet. It's right there, just past the shed, or whatever that is. I mean, these should be the perfect disc for this, realistically. I like throwing my harp on this, so in theory, all three of these should be just the perfect disc. That was really high. That may have dropped really close, though. was more what I was aiming for. That could be great if it didn't skip huge. That could be pretty good too. Those are all pretty good shots, I think. And look at that. I'd feel absolutely confident using regular putter with any of these shots. Using these, I'm still somewhat confident. You gotta be joking me. Hole 6, 230 uphill. Mando tree on the right. Out of bounds on the left. The basketball hoop's kind of the good indicator as to whether you're getting OB or not. Honestly, I'm not getting there on any of these discs, but I do like the fact that I should be able to kind of open up a little bit and really see a flight better. Also, I'm gonna put these on a little bit of anhyzer because being they're all a little overstable, they're gonna want to go to that OB. I'm gonna have to try to drift them to the right in order to not go OB. So not only a good test for the disc, but also a good test for my own skill, hopefully. That went OB. I even got anhyzer on that. Definitely got more anhyzer and less distance on that, but it's safe. Oh my gosh, I missed the Mando on that. Drop zones. I don't know the last time I missed the Mando. I think there's a drop zone over there. I think the T sign has a drop zone marked. I'm fairly sure of it. And I think I'm at that drop zone because I missed the Mando. Now, it's an interesting spot to be. I don't think I've ever been here because I don't even remember the last time I missed that Mando. I have a very low ceiling. So, with the overstable disc, if I wanted to go backhand, I really need to kind of throw along this fence line and let it fade. But with such low branches, I'm a little worried about trying to do that. So I'm actually going to try the forehand. I've been actually wanting to try some forehands with these discs to see how they handle it. But yeah, crashing onto that hill definitely concerns me. But yeah, we're going to do what we got. Oh, man. That didn't come out of it very quick, though. So I still ended up with a little more distance on the owl. But the zone definitely ended up in the best spot because it's the one that didn't get an extra stroke. Oh, no, that's going to... And then I just absolutely have a terrible release with it. All right, so this is my estimate as to about where I went out of bounds, just kind of based on the flight. So somewhere right around here. And I'm just taking my, roughly a meter distance. And now I'm just going to try to get parked. Oh, if I can get it parked for a bogey, then it's still not losing ground to the others. So that's not going to be parked. Not even close. Get in. Oh my God. Don't roll. Okay. This is the only one that has a look. Oh, nope. pretty sad when you take the tee box with a bogey. That's what just happened. Zone's now at the front. Hole 7, 200-ish feet. It's right out there on the side of a hill. I really don't know if forehanding these is the right answer. It probably is, honestly. But regardless, I really want to get some forehands in, and these last couple holes, or 7 and 8 at least, are great holes to test a forehand, at least with a little power. So definitely want to get some forehand throws in here, see how they feel. So we'll go from here. Still want to try to release these relatively flat. I feel like that was a really good throw. Oh, that stood up and rolled though. I'll bet that went to the bottom of the hill. Oh, definitely threw that flat right into the bushes. Though, I gotta say, that felt good coming out of the hand on a forehand. It just was definitely not a good throw. Oh, that was a much worse throw. Well, you probably didn't see that throw because I don't think it ever came in view of the camera. That throw went so far left. It's such an awkward little window to throw to. It was an awful throw. And it went all the way to the bottom of the hill. That sucks. Hopefully you can see this one coming in. So this ended up just being absolutely atrocious. And that wasn't that great. All right, so this zone, I landed it 25 feet before the basket. Ended up all the way down here. Oh, that's still not going to be a good throw. So I didn't even bother recording the end of that hole. Fact is, everything I had left was upshots, like short little approaches that I wasn't going to mess up, left with a tap in, or I had my owl was 12 or 14 feet out. I didn't bother recording any of them because, to be honest, trying to set up a camera on that hill is awful. The tripod I have doesn't have individually adjustable legs. It might be an investment for the future, but without that, just setting up on that hill is almost impossible. So, ended up the owl got a 3, the zone got a 4, and the entropy got a 5 based on that awful shot I had that you probably didn't see. So now we're going to hole 8, 200 feet downhill. It's off to the right. In theory, this should be a great disc on a forehand for it. So we're gonna, like I always say, we're gonna see how this goes. It's a little short, but that was a pretty shot. Oh, that was even lower. Ended up in a pretty similar place though. Ooh, now that looks like a decent shot. Ooh, that looks really nice. That's 20, 25 feet. That's definitely the best shot. I'm gonna try doing a couple little forehand up shots here. Again, just I know I always did that, or I did that a lot on my harp. So yeah, I mean that felt very similar, and that just went to the exact same distance as the entropy. It was wobbly as heck, but good placement. Oh, no. Oh, nice. Got a birdie out of that. So we're at hole 9, 230 feet uphill. Pretty straightforward shot. Don't think I'm making it with an approach disc, but we'll find out. You will see there's quite a few discs on the hill here. I've got somebody doing some throwing practice out here, so don't mind all the extras. Oh my God, I just kicked my own leg as I stepped through. That was awful.
Actually, it wasn't that bad.
I mean, I could still probably make a par from there.
Yeah, that's not the problem, but you just messed up your footing or something, But it looks like you got some.
That was up in the air.
Yeah, you kind of swooshed it.
I actually have started to get the impression I'm swooshing it.
I'll watch it. Yeah, see your nose is way up. So
Yeah.
Nose is up, and
So pretty cool. There's a gentleman out here that's been doing his throwing practice. He said he's always been a predominantly forehand player, and he's just trying to learn the backhand now. And he just watched me throw those backhands and talked about how he can, what I'm doing wrong with it, and it definitely gives me some ideas of things to work on. I like to hear it. Come on over. Not too bad. There we go. So, yeah, I gotta say, I'm not sure I've decided anything on this stuff. Well, forgive the lack of that final tap-in shot. As you probably figured out, my camera fell over. So I guess in retrospect, after that round of the Discraft Zone, Ring Top, the Entropy by MVP, and the Scott Stokely Owl, I guess the final answer is, I don't know. I really don't know. I really feel like the Entropy, I love the grippiness of it. I like the feel in my hand. I feel like when I'm trying to put a little power into a forehand, I feel like I'm going to have an easier time getting it flat. The backhand feels pretty good. The zone, I like the firmness. It feels so much like my Harp did, except for that ring top. Makes me think that maybe I need to get a regular zone. But has a very similar feel. And when I get it in the right direction, it feels great, and it feels really good out of the hand, forehand or backhand. But my concern with it is I threw a lot more errant shots, I feel like, with the zone than anything else. The Owl, I just feel like every time I threw it just felt more comfortable. I mean, honestly, overall, I think I liked the Owl the best. I don't like the plastic on it quite as much as the Entropy, just the feel of it. But with that softer middle, I still feel like it's plenty grippy. I feel like it's good. I mean, honestly, the only thing that concerns me, and I haven't really experienced it yet, is I'm a little bit worried about grip locking it real bad the way I do with my my Gauge or my Atom when I played rounds with those. So I'm definitely it has me worried about that, but I haven't done it yet. To To be honest, I'm just not sure yet. I guess we'll have to play with all of them in my bag for the short term. So I guess I will leave you with just a couple forehand flights. I just want to kind of get one last feel, because these are kind of my approaches that I do a lot. That one wasn't very good. See, again, that owl felt the best out of my hand. It might end up being the owl. I'm not sure yet. Anyways, thanks so much for giving me your time, and I hope I see you on the next one.